Well, please welcome Annette Funicello. Hi there. How you doing?
Hi, dear. Hi. Thank you.
I love you, Annette.
That's terrific.
Isn't that wonderful?
Thank you. Yes.
Boy, 250,000 people in America suffer from multiple sclerosis.
Yes.
Yeah, and you were diagnosed in 1987.
In 87,
Yeah.
yes.
What were your symptoms?
When I was working on the beach with Frankie, you know, it's tough to walk in sand when you're fine, but I absolutely couldn't walk. I was just teetering like crazy, and I thought, there's something wrong. There's something very wrong here, and my eyesight was deteriorating quickly, and I kept saying to my ophthalmologist, change my prescription. You got to make it stronger, stronger. So he had a feeling something was wrong.
So you had an MRI done.
Yes.
And the diagnosis was given to you. What were your feelings? What was your reaction?
You know, I really thought I had a tumor. I mean, I was afraid that that's what they were going to tell me. And when the neurologist said MS, it was like, whew.
Really?
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
And then, you know, really, I didn't feel badly for 4 years. It's just been the last year when I've needed a cane. Everything just sort of hit at once.
Why were you relieved to find out that it was MS?
Well, because my eyesight was deteriorating so quickly, I thought, it's got to be a tumor, you know?
Yeah.
And when I heard it was MS, I really didn't know too much about it. So I thought, I can handle this. I mean, look at me, I'm fine. A little bit of tingling and my sight, and that'll get better. I was kind of relieved.
Now, Annette, even though you were diagnosed in 87, you kept it a secret and didn't
Yes.
go public until, what, 90, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, why'd you keep
Yes,
it a secret so long?
91, I think.
91,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I kept it a secret because, well, first of all, I didn't even tell my father because I didn't want him to worry. You know, daddies and their little girls, they get very upset about things. So I know that the public always thought nothing ever bad happened to Annette. And I just didn't want to burst that bubble. I didn't want to worry anybody.
Oh.
I know a good friend of mine, Madeline Rue, who's also an actress,
Yes.
had it, and she had to keep it a secret for many years for insurance purposes. I mean, she had to work.
Yes.
She was single, supporting herself.
Yes.
Was that a concern?
No, you know, I had never thought of that. Because I was fine for 4 years or so after the diagnosis. So I didn't
Just minor
think about
symptoms, the
that.
eyesight and so on?
Yeah, and tingling in my hands and my feet. And what really has been attacked most of all is my equilibrium. I always walk like I've been drinking too much, you know?
And
So I
that's
have
got to
my
be very
cane.
difficult for Annette to deal with.
I know.
To have people think that about you.
And that's always drunk.
Oh, no.
But I mean, that's what I'm sure people had been thinking. In
Yeah.
fact, they told me, the stories would come back to me that I had been drinking.
Yeah.
You have 3 children. How did you
That's
tell
right.
them? Gina, Jack, and Jason.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. How did I tell them? I just sat them down one day and I told them that I have something called MS, and of course they said, "You mean MD that Jerry Lewis puts his telethon on for?" And I said, no. So we were not familiar with this illness at all. So my kids weren't really that frightened, you know? It's like, well, what is MS, Mom? And I said, I don't really know. And of course now I've read so much about it and I know so much about it. And I know what happens with people. You know, I talk to so many people, I've met so many people, and it's amazing how they will say, my mother has it, or my brother has it, or I have it. It's just incredible.
Annette, am I correct that you did finally go public because the tabloids started nosing around and calling your neighbors and one thing or another?
Yes.
Based, I suppose, on people seeing you,
Yes.
your imbalance.
I live on a cul-de-sac, and I would see these strange men dressed in suits and ties knocking on my neighbors' doors, going all around. And they were saying, "What's wrong with Annette?" And of course, nobody knew. And they said, "I don't know, nothing's wrong with Annette." So I thought I'd better go public with my story before it's misinterpreted.
So you did a
and
preemptive
really,
strike.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Okay. Stop right here. When we come back, we'll find out what inspired Annette and gave her the courage to fight on.